Hello all and welcome to Hostplus's 2023 annual members meeting. My name is Damien Frawley and I am the chair of the Hostplus board. It is my absolute pleasure to host this year's meeting. On behalf of the board and our executive team, I am delighted to welcome and thank all of our valued members for joining us today from right across Australia. I'd like to commence today's proceedings by acknowledging and paying my respects to the Wurundjeri people, the traditional custodians of the land I'm speaking from today. I extend this acknowledgement to First Nations people across Australia and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. I also acknowledge all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander members attending our meeting today and recognise your continuing connection to lands, waters and communities. All members of the Hostplus board are in attendance today, and I'd like to thank them for their participation. As we have a quorum of the Hostplus Board of Directors today, today's meeting serves as an official meeting of the board. It is also a requirement that the relevant executive officers, the fund's auditor and actuary attend this meeting. Accordingly, I would like to introduce George Sagonis from PricewaterhouseCoopers and Louise Campbell from Willis Towers Watson, who join us here today. You can see the board structures as at June 30 on the screen right now. The Hostplus board comprises 3 employer body directors, 3 employee body directors and 3 independent directors. While there were no changes to the makeup of our board in 2023 financial year, in recent months we have bid farewell to 2 of our highly respected directors. Independent Director Alexandra Grayson, who had dedicated and delivered almost a decade of loyal and exceptional service to the Hostplus board, resigned on 1 July. Alex held the incredibly important role of Chair of the Fund's Operations Committee, overseeing the ongoing development, implementation and review of our products and services. And ultimately, that you, our members, are at the forefront of every decision we make. We also farewelled Imogen Bainon, who joined the Hostplus board in 2021 as an employee director. As a director and a member of the People and Remuneration Committee, Imogen's expertise in industrial law, regulation and policy contributed greatly to members' outcomes through her oversight of the workplace and governance culture. The skill, dedication and commitment to our members that Alex and Imogen brought to our board will be greatly missed. On behalf of Hostplus's board of directors and the members they represented, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to both Alex and Imogen for their valued service and extend our very best wishes to them both for their future. I would also like to take this opportunity to announce that Jessica Rudd has been appointed to the board and fills the independent director position vacated by Alex Grayson. Jessica's impressive business acumen and international experience in e-commerce, media, law and governance will bring a unique perspective to the board as we continue to focus on making a genuine difference to the financial futures of our members. I am confident that her diverse experience, expertise and passion will be invaluable as we navigate the ever-evolving landscape of superannuation and retirement, further enriching the collective skills and perspectives of the board. On behalf of my fellow directors and the members of the Hostplus, I warmly welcome Jessica to the board. Today's meeting is scheduled to run for approximately 90 minutes and will close at 12 noon, Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. In a moment, I'll discuss some of the major events of the past financial year and share with you some of our achievements. Following that, you will hear from our Chief Executive Officer, David Illier, who will discuss our mission and purpose as a superannuation fund and the business strategy underpinning the exceptional results we are achieving on your behalf. 2 of Hostplus's board directors will also be joining us. Bev Myers, one of Hostplus's employee body directors, will share our company values, our commitment to diversity, and talk about some of the ways we invest in our most important assets, our staff. Janet Whiting, one of Hostplus's independent directors, will then put a spotlight on some of the great new products and services that we've recently introduced, as well as our commitment to service and innovation. She will also outline some of the work our financial advisors and planners are delivering to assist our members with planning for their retirement. To close out the presentations today, our Chief Investment Officer, Sam Cecilia, will discuss the fund's performance and the state of current markets. He will also outline the attributes that shape our investment strategy and take a closer look at some of the innovative investments your money is helping to fund. Finally, I will return to facilitate a Q&A session where my fellow board members will join me to respond to your questions. I would like to offer my thanks to those of you who've already submitted questions. We've received more than 150 questions in the lead up to today and sincerely appreciate your interest in your fund. If you'd still like to ask a question, you can send through your question on the event streaming page. Submissions will remain open until the end of today's meeting. We will try and answer as many questions as we can during the Q&A portion of the meeting, which will run for approximately 30 minutes. I ask members to note that we are unable to answer any questions that relate to personal financial matters in this forum. For questions of a personal nature, we encourage you to call our contact centre for assistance. For those where we have received a question of a personal nature, you can anticipate a call from our Hostplus service staff to assist with your inquiry. Answers to all questions, along with a full video recording of today's meeting and the meeting minutes, will be made available on the Hostplus website within the next 30 days. I would like to start my presentation today by sharing some key milestones and highlights of the year just gone. It's been incredibly pleasing to see the growth that Hostplus has achieved over recent years. Growth that proportionately exceeds the growth of our peers. This has come about not only through a series of incredibly successful mergers, but also thanks to those hundreds of thousands of Hostplus members who have personally chosen Hostplus as their retirement fund of choice. This year alone, more than 332,000 new members chose Hostplus as their fund. Close to 1.8 million Australians now trust Hostplus to manage their hard-earned retirement savings. Reflective of this growth, we also reached the incredible milestone of $100 billion in funds under management. This figure is not only an indication of the success of our growth strategy, but is an important marker of the scale we have achieved as a fund. For you, our members, it is this scale that enables us to deliver greater value and financial outcomes to each and every one of you. Our CEO, David Illier, will speak more about the scale of the fund and the benefit this brings to members during his presentation. The fund's success was reflected in Hostplus's recognition as the 2023 Super Ratings Fund of the Year, judged across 3 categories: strong performance, competitive fees, and an ongoing focus on members. This accolade was recognition of the fund's ongoing commitment to improving the retirement outcomes of our close to 1.8 million members. You will hear more about those award successes throughout the presentation today. Mergers have been a recurrent theme in recent years as the industry consolidates to provide efficiency and value for members through the resulting scale. And mergers continue to be an important part of our growth strategy here at Hostplus. Delivered in conjunction with an effective brand and marketing strategy and the delivery of solid returns over the longer term, mergers bring the type of scale that enables us to contribute to deliver value and leverage new products and services for our members. Hostplus recently completed our merger with Maritime Super. This is the fourth successful merger for Hostplus in as many years, having previously merged with Club Super, In-Trust Super and Statewide Super. I would like to especially welcome those members today who recently joined us as a result of the merger with Maritime. We are delighted to welcome you to the Hostplus family and assure you of our ongoing commitment to you. Although the merger was completed on September 1 of this year, after the financial year on which we are reporting, this outcome was the culmination of a significant body of work over the last financial year. As we look back on our performance of the fund last year, the most prevalent themes were rising interest rates in response to inflation and a slower growth economy. This has been a persistent theme over recent years due to the COVID-19 pandemic and increasing geopolitical conditions that plague the world. Our Chief Investment Officer, Sam Cecilia, will provide a more detailed picture of the markets and our performance when he joins us a little later in the meeting. Despite the continuing volatility in investment markets, our default My Super Balanced option returned 8% in the financial year 2023. This is where the majority of our members are invested, so it was really pleasing to be able to deliver this great result, especially following on from last year when Hostplus was one of only 2 funds to achieve a positive return. But when it comes to saving for your retirement, it's the long-term results that count. And over the long term, Hostplus came out on top. Over 20 years to June 30, 2023, the Hostplus default balanced option returned a highly competitive 8.19% per annum. According to Super Ratings data, Hostplus's default My Super Balanced option was the #1 performer over 3, 7, 10, 15 and 20 years as at June 23, 30 June 23. Reflective of these impressive results, Hostplus was one of the first funds to receive Super Ratings 20-year Platinum Performance Rating, achieving the highest rating possible over 20 consecutive years. We were also announced as the Super Ratings My Choice Super of the Year winner, awarded to the fund with the best value for money offering for engaged members, which is another way of saying we are the best value for money offering for members who make an active product choice outside of our default My Super Balanced option. This is fitting recognition because at Hostplus, one of the primary benefits we deliver is an extensive array of products and a wide range of investment options. With close to 1.8 million members, the inherent diversity in preferences and needs underscores the crucial significance of offering a wide range of investment options. Our diverse product range means that you can choose the products and options that suit your personal risk appetite, desired returns, fee preferences, or values. Our index balanced option, in which more than 100,000 of our members are invested, returned an impressive 12.34% for the year ending June 30. And for those members who chose to invest in our socially responsible investment, that is our SRI option, a product reflecting the changing values of our society, you achieved 7.85% return for the same period. Our retired Hostplus members invested in the balanced pension option also welcomed returns this year of 8.95%. This was a positive result for our growing number of pension members who rely on their super for regular income in retirement. In this brief summary update, I trust that I have provided you with a glimpse of the results and endeavours that our distinguished senior leaders and directors will present to you today. On that note, I'd now like to introduce Hostplus's Chief Executive Officer, David Elliott, to provide an overview of our mission, our purpose, and the business strategy.
Thank you very much for that introduction, Damien, and for your opening remarks. Hello, and welcome to everyone attending the meeting today. I'm delighted to be able to share with you an overview of the results we've achieved for you in the last year and the strategies that underpin these results. I would like to start by expressing what a pleasure and a privilege it is to lead this remarkable fund. After 25 years at Hostplus, including the last 20 as CEO, my commitment to deliver for you, our members, remains as steadfast as it has been before. As an industry fund, we're run only to benefit you. Our sole purpose is to maximise your superannuation outcomes so you, our members, can enjoy a dignified retirement. Unlike for-profit and bank-owned retail funds and master trusts, we don't pay profits to shareholders. Aside from the expenses of managing the fund and its investments, all of our profits are returned to you. And I'm proud that you see these benefits every day in the form of innovative products, exceptional service, and in the net benefit delivered to your accounts. If you're not familiar with the term net benefit, it's the simplest, most powerful way to measure the value your super fund offers. Effectively, it's the tangible financial gains and returns that hit your account once all fees, costs, and taxes have been paid. The higher the net benefit, the more money paid into your account. The two main factors that influence net benefit are the returns you earn on your investments and the fees charged to your account. That's why it's so important to consider both of these elements, fees and performance, together when comparing super funds. So how does the net benefit you receive at Hostplus compare? Over the last 15 years to June 30, Hostplus's balanced option ranked number one in the market for net benefit when compared against other retail and industry funds. According to Super Ratings, a Hostplus member in our default balanced option is $23,459 better off than the average member of a profit-to-member fund and $30,099 better off than the average super fund member over the past 15 years. Our exceptional net benefit outcomes were recognised by Super Ratings as the recipients of their inaugural 2023 Net Benefit Award. This is just one of a number of prestigious awards won in the last year. We were awarded the Super Ratings 2023 My Choice Super of the Year for Best Value for Money. We were one of the first funds to receive a 20-year Platinum Performance Award, meaning our super product has been rated Platinum by Super Ratings for 20 years in a row. And as Damien mentioned, we were named the Super Ratings 2023 Super Fund of the Year. This accolade is something we're extremely proud of, as it recognises our industry-leading approach and our genuine drive to deliver more value to your retirement savings. Canstar, one of Australia's most recognised names in financial comparisons, awarded Hostplus's default balanced option for outstanding value for the 6th year running. And from one of the most trusted names in the industry, Money Magazine, we were awarded Best My Super Single Strategy Product and the Best Diversified ESG Product for our socially responsible option in both super and pension. These awards are a strong indicator that we're delivering on our mission to maximise your superannuation outcomes. And our business strategy is entirely driven by this mission. Hostplus has experienced what can best be described as exceptional growth over the past few years, and we take pride in the ways we continue to translate the advantages of this scale into tangible benefits for you. Benefits that include accessing unique investment opportunities, the continual refinement of our product range, and our ability to provide you with greater autonomy in shaping your investment strategies, all while keeping costs low. Hostplus's commitment to low costs was recognised as recently as last month when we were awarded Best Low Cost Offering at the Super Review Super Fund of the Year Awards for 2024 as judged by Super Ratings. Awarded to the fund that has provided the best low cost offering direct to members, the award recognises the continued value of our low cost indexed investment options that focus on minimising investment fees and costs. Hostplus's growth trajectory and our ability to keep fees low continues to be well above industry average, and this has not happened by accident. In relation to growth, Hostplus has always strategically pursued growth by blending a series of strategically aligned mergers with a finely tuned, data-driven marketing strategy. In the realm of superannuation, where competition for members is fierce, we recognise the vital need to communicate and promote the advantages of Hostplus. What's also crucial to know is that the costs associated with our marketing endeavours are responsibly funded from a portion of the administration fees. A portion of this fee serves as the foundation for promoting our fund, communicating its unique benefits and seeking to retain and attract new members, ultimately contributing to the growth of our fund scale. Scale that allows us to keep your fees low, access investment opportunities that smaller funds cannot, and reinvest in products and services that support your journey to and within retirement. We take marketing seriously, employing advanced data analysis, modelling, and marketing science to evaluate every marketing dollar spent. We rigorously test and ensure that these investments translate into meaningful growth and maintaining low fees, which the evidence says is working. Let's look at our growth record. According to recent APRA data for the year ending June 2023, Hostplus's funds under management grew by a sizable 16.2% compared to the overall growth of the industry at 7.6%. When it comes to fees, our operating costs per member are low, a fact demonstrated by the 2023 Super Ratings Hostplus benchmark report, which found that our operating costs per member are less than 1/3 of the industry median. Our marketing strategy is not just a cost, but an investment in our collective future as we continue to scale the fund, enhance your experience, and deliver the value you expect and deserve as a Hostplus member. Rest assured, our commitment to you is unwavering, and we pledge to spend only what is necessary to operate the fund effectively in your best financial interests. We also work for you in many ways that may not be so visible. The government has continued to make significant policy improvements, and at Hostplus, we take the vanguard on a range of policy issues in your best financial interests. Payday Super, for instance, has long been high on our agenda. In the 2023-24 budget, the government announced that from July 1, 2026, employers will be mandated to pay superannuation guarantee SG contributions alongside salary and wages payment. This adjustment means that our members will have extended time in the fund, amplifying the benefits that come from compounding returns. Treasury has estimated around 8.9 million Australians will accrue higher retirement savings because of this change. Analysis undertaken by Super Members Council of Australia indicates that Payday Super could add up to $36,000 to the retirement balance of workers in the lowest 20% of wage earners. This figure could make a real difference when it comes to the achievement of a dignified retirement. The Quality of Advice Review has also been an important piece of work this year. As a fund that has always offered no additional cost, low cost, or affordable advice to our members, it was something that we felt incredibly passionate about. We lodged a submission as part of this review, emphasising the critical need to safeguard the high quality of advice that Australians receive, to prevent any risk of misguided advice that could potentially harm our members' financial security, personal objectives, and overall well-being. The Your Future, Your Super measures were introduced several years ago and included some important measures to ensure that members were not stuck in underperforming funds. An important change this year was the inclusion of trustees' directed product in the performance test. Trustee-directed products, also described as choice products, are products that members make an active decision to invest in, outside of the default MySuper balanced product. Typically, members personally choose to invest in these products or are guided into these products or platforms by their advisors. As a fund that exists solely for the benefit of our members, it had long been a source of frustration for us that there were so many Australians who were stuck in underperforming and expensive choice products, simply because there was no transparent way for them to compare their products' performance and fees. The first annual APRA performance test of choice products showed that our frustration had been justified. 76 individual platform products out of a total of 306 failed this test. At June 30, there were 24,000 Australians invested in these products. There were also 36,000 Australians in failed non-platform products. I'm delighted to inform you that all Hostplus products, the default MySuper balanced option, and all our member choice products passed the Your Future, Your Super performance test. For our members still in the accumulation phase, I'm pleased that the government has maintained the legislated superannuation guarantee rate increases, rising to 12% by 2025. The most recent increase came into effect on 1 July this year, and contributions are currently legislated at 11%. All of these reforms are important improvements, and we are incredibly proud of the role we played on your behalf. Please rest assured we will continue to have a voice in matters that are important to our members' best financial interests. Finally today, I want to cover off on something that is very important to us and to many of our members. That is our commitment to sustainability and their transition to a lower carbon economy. When Sam speaks later in the meeting, he will spotlight some of our innovative investments in clean energy. They constitute an important pillar in our journey of our commitment to net zero 2050. They also form part of our broader investment strategy. Managing social concerns and delivering strong returns are not mutually exclusive. We aim to deliver both of these desired outcomes together. We do this by including sustainable assets in our diversified portfolio, assets like green buildings, clean water, and technologies to reduce plastic waste that have the real potential to generate favourable returns for you. In fact, we have $1.5 billion invested in assets like these. While values are a driver behind many of our members seeking responsible investments, values also drive our culture as an organisation. And frankly, we couldn't deliver the positive retirement outcomes and value we do without the team of dedicated leaders and professionals who represent you every day. I would therefore like to take a moment to thank the dedicated staff at Hostplus and our partners that work hard at serving our members. To that end, it now gives me great pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Bev Myers, who will put a well-deserved spotlight on our culture at Hostplus and the role it plays in our organisational success. As one of our employee body directors, Bev represents Hostplus's members on behalf of one of our founding shareholders. She currently serves as chair of both the Operations Committee and the Claims Review Committee.
Thank you, David, and hello everyone. My name is Bev Myers and it's my privilege to represent Hostplus members as one of the board's employee directors. As you can rightly expect, the board plays an important role in the achievement of cultural excellence through our oversight of workplace and governance culture. At Hostplus, our workplace is the engine that helps drive our fund's performance. The fund thrives because of the dedication of our staff and the exceptional culture they've cultivated. Our ability to achieve the industry accolades is impossible without the great people in this organisation. The staff at Hostplus are passionate about delivering exceptional outcomes for you. And it's this member-first philosophy that sits at the very foundation of our organisational values. You can see these values on the screen, but I would like to bring them to life for you now. We care about our members, our work and our colleagues. This caring nature propels us to deliver our absolute best for you. We collaborate, are inclusive and treat others with respect. Collaboration means that you get the best combinations of skills and minds working to deliver the best products and services. We are optimistic and we focus on solutions, not problems. Our solution-driven approach means that we are always looking forward, responding to the market, making certain we are best placed to remain at the top of our game for you. We are honest, genuine, straightforward and transparent. We're entrusted with your hard-earned money and there's no alternative to complete transparency in our eyes. We are proud of who we are and the work we do every day. We deeply value the essence of who we are and the dedication we bring to our work every day. We are very deliberate in the ways we develop our member-first culture and go to great lengths to nurture this. This year, we introduced a program that rewards and recognises the day-to-day contributions and successes of staff who go above and beyond to demonstrate our values that correspond with improved member outcomes. While we've already seen a marked improvement in our staff engagement score relating to the recognition of member service, the real success of this program is in the way it reinforces the standards we set ourselves in serving our members. Our commitment to investing in our people is unwavering. The investment in our valued staff is critical to meet the exacting standards we set ourselves, and we were very pleased to implement our new enterprise agreement earlier this year. This new 4-year agreement is a tangible representation of the value Hostplus places on our employees and how important they are in the delivery of products, services and financial returns for you. The competition for talent in the superannuation sector is fierce. Staff retention is therefore vital to our continued success, ensuring we keep the best minds in the industry with the most relevant expertise working for you. Our enterprise agreement is just one of the ways that we invest in our staff, but it's not the only way. Every staff member has an opportunity to undertake professional development and education each year. While this is an investment in our people, it is also an investment in you. You deserve industry-leading experts looking after your retirement future, and our investment in staff development helps us achieve this. As we currently serve nearly 1.8 million members, it's clear that each member is unique in their needs and preferences. This diversity underscores the significance of embracing a wide range of perspectives and backgrounds in both our organisation and our team. It allows us to better understand and cater to the diverse needs of our members, ultimately making us more responsive and effective in serving all of you. Diversity within our broader community takes shape in numerous aspects such as race, ethnicity, age, ability, language, sexual orientation and gender, among others. This rich tapestry of diversity is mirrored in our membership base. Beyond our desire to enforce our workforce is reflective of our membership. A diverse workforce improves all levels of innovation and decision-making at Hostplus. To embrace and reflect this diversity, we've implemented a variety of strategies and initiatives. Our second innovative reconciliation action plan is one of them, and it reflects our national footprint and diverse member base. This revised plan came about after the mergers with Intrust Super, based in Queensland, and Statewide Super, based in South Australia, and reflects our truly national footprint and the diversity of members. While our RAP is an important and tangible reflection of our commitment to reconciliation, it is also a real and practical way that we can support our members of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander descent. Over the next 18 months, we commit to developing relationships with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, fostering engagement and cultural learning among our employees and creating innovative strategies to ensure First Nations peoples have equal access to superannuation. This initiative is part of our ongoing work to support positive financial outcomes for First Nations people, including our collaboration with ASIC on the Indigenous Financial Services Framework. All of these actions have been identified as ways that we can improve retirement outcomes for First Nations members. Recognising gender diversity is also a powerful asset, both for Hostplus and the broader economy. The World Economic Forum highlights the link between gender equality and a country's overall economic performance, As this report states, people and their talents are among the core drivers of sustainable long-term economic growth. If half of these talents are underdeveloped or underutilised, growth and sustainability will be compromised. Superannuation funds such as Hostplus, by their very nature, are a vital part of our economic ecosystem, and our contribution can be even greater with gender diversity. At Hostplus, we are actively working to maintain a minimum representation of each gender at 40% on our board and executive leadership, and we are continually evolving our strategy to achieve these targets. While our current numbers sit slightly lower than this, with 36% female board members and 33% executive leadership, we are continually evolving our strategy to meet these targets. Our executive leadership succession plan, for instance, has 53% of the next generation of identified leaders being women. This exceeds our gender diversity target. We are currently developing a refreshed diversity strategy and a new action plan that will include improved targets and measures, also encompassing a broader spectrum of diversity. We're eager to keep you updated on our progress in the coming years. I genuinely appreciate the privilege of representing you, our valued members. Thank you for this opportunity to connect and share our commitment to your financial well-being. Before I hand over to my fellow director, Janet Whiting, who will share more about our excellent service, innovative products and retirement expertise, I would like to express my thanks and gratitude to the Hostplus team. Thank you, and over to you, Janet.
Hello everyone. My name is Janet Whiting and I'm one of the 3 independent directors on the Hostplus board. I'm delighted to be able to speak with you today about one of Hostplus's core pillars, our member first philosophy and how that comes to life through our products and services. We strive for continuous improvement in everything we do so as to meet and sustain the high standards you expect and deserve. This is especially true when it comes to service delivery. In the past financial year, our dedicated services team answered more than 446,000 inbound calls. They responded to close to 180,000 online chats and replied to more than 150,000 emails. They also made 28,000 outbound calls and managed nearly 3,000 social media interactions. Over the year, that amounts to more than 800,000 opportunities for us to help you one-on-one with your super. We also met many of you through our employer visitation programs. We were thrilled to welcome more than 10,000 members to the 500 in-person education sessions that were held across the country. We also delivered 32 digital webinars that were attended by 4,600 members. For those members who have more complex questions and would like to meet with us in person, we proudly opened a new service hub in Melbourne. And we continued to provide this valued face-to-face support to members who needed it at our hub in Adelaide. For our members in Darwin and Sydney, we look forward to welcoming you to your own hubs soon. As a reflection of our service commitment, I'm delighted to share that Hostplus was recently awarded the 2023 Mozo People's Choice Award for Outstanding Customer Satisfaction. Determined solely by the votes of customers gathered in an annual national survey, the Mozo People's Choice Awards recognises companies with the highest customer satisfaction levels, best service and a range of other qualities. We're incredibly proud of this award and what it represents for you, our members. Another important benefit that came from superannuation is having access to affordable insurance. Depending on your membership category and eligibility, according to policy and related criteria, you may have access to death and terminal illness cover, which helps to relieve the financial pressures on your loved ones if the worst were to happen. You may also have access to total and permanent disability cover, which provides a financial safety net if you are medically determined under the policy as permanently unable to work because of serious injury or illness, and income protection cover, which provides a regular income if you are medically determined under the policy as temporarily unable to work due to illness or injury. This year, 826,000 Hostplus members had insurance cover associated with their superannuation account. And just this year, we approved more than 2,700 claims, that resulted in $229 million being paid to our members and their loved ones at the time they needed it the most. In some cases, we know that claiming can sometimes be a complex and time-consuming process, and that sometimes your claim doesn't proceed as quickly as we would hope. But we are constantly working to ensure our insurance claims process is as efficient and as easy to navigate as possible. Our in-house claims team are there to support you and your beneficiaries through the process. Our various service channels are critical tools for enabling effective and efficient engagement with you, our members, not the least being Member Online, our online service portal. We made several system improvements to Member Online this year, including the introduction of online benefit payment applications, resulting in a simplified, faster and more convenient process. We know that this is an important feature to many of our members, and we were delighted to deliver this enhanced service. We also implemented something very important for our defined benefit members, a new portal that allows you to access your account anytime, day or night, to check your balance, insurance cover and update account details. We also launched our new website, designed to provide a more seamless and intuitive interface for our members, employers, self-managed fund holders and advisors. It boasts a chat feature on every page, a new investment comparison tool, as well as a retirement projection calculator. This new website recently won Best in Show in the user experience category in the Australian Web Awards, which are well known for celebrating innovation and outstanding design. This award celebrates our ongoing commitment to provide our members with an intuitive and informative platform that supports your superannuation journey throughout life and into retirement. We've also commenced work on a significant redevelopment of the Hostplus member app. This new app will perform better, deliver a more engaging member experience, be more accessible, inclusive and secure. I'd like to acknowledge that our pension and defined benefit members are keenly anticipating being able to access their accounts via the app, and we are working hard towards the achievement of this in the coming year. Until then, I want to reassure you that you can access the full range of account management via the Member Online and Pension Online platforms, as they've both been optimised for use on mobiles and tablets. Here at Hostplus, we are incredibly proud of our diverse and innovative product options, recognising that our members don't all have the same needs or preferences. We recently introduced 6 new premixed options that offer a broader risk-return range and are available to both accumulation and pension members across our core, indexed and socially responsible products. Our member direct investment product, Choice Plus, that enables members to invest in shares, exchange-traded funds, listed investment companies and term deposits, has also had some enhancements. We've increased the limits on certain investments from 20% up to 50% of a member's total account balance, providing greater flexibility and choice. And further to David's earlier comments as to how scale translates into improved member benefits, we reduced our already low fees for Choice Plus, making it one of the lowest cost direct investment options that are accessible to super members. These reductions will save a typical Choice Plus member approximately $54 per year. For members in the pension phase, I want to talk now about CPI Plus, a Hostplus product that is unique in the market. Our CPI Plus product is designed to assist our retired members manage and mitigate investment risks, including market risk and sequencing risk, by providing greater certainty of returns above CPI over the long term, providing members with more certainty in retirement. In simple terms, CPI Plus aims to deliver a low-risk, low-volatility investment option while continuing to maintain the simplicity, flexibility and liquidity of an account-based pension. Through this product, we seek to improve our CPI Plus members with a consistent income that is typically lower risk and less volatile than that derived from growth assets, such as shares, and typically provides higher returns than defensive assets, such as cash or fixed interest. Returns from CPI Plus are predetermined, generally being set as a certain percentage above the Consumer Price Index, CPI. One of the key pillars of our retirement income strategy is our financial planning and advice services. When it comes to financial planning and advice, everyone's needs are different. That's why we've worked hard to ensure you have a range of options to choose what best suits your individual needs. Our digital advice offering continues to expand year on year. This year we launched a sophisticated retirement projection calculator. It's an easy-to-use general interactive tool that provides an estimate of how much you could retire with and how long your super may last in retirement. We're excited that this calculator can help empower you to better understand the path you're currently on and, most importantly, enable you to take action to try to achieve better retirement outcomes. This is just one of the ways we are working to make information and advice more accessible to help you plan for your retirement. We also provided more than 750,000 personalised retirement income projections in member statements. The projections provide an estimated income in retirement and are a great tool to help you ensure you're on track to meet your goals for retirement. One fundamental factor in delivering retirement outcomes for you is our delivery of strong returns over the long term. To talk to this, I now have the privilege of introducing our Chief Investment Officer, Sam Cecilia. Sam is one of the longest standing and most respected Chief Investment Officers in the country, and he, along with his team, has been instrumental in leading our investment strategy and consistently growing the net benefit we deliver to our members. Please join me in welcoming Sam.
Thank you, Janet, for that introduction. I would like to extend my thanks to all of you for participating in this year's annual members meeting. My name is Sam Cecilia, Hostplus's Chief Investment Officer. As our Chair mentioned earlier today, investment markets have continued to be unsettled over the past 12 months, impacted by challenging economic conditions, both domestically and on the international stage. I will go into a little more detail about the key drivers of this market volatility and how we respond to it later in my address. To begin, however, I would like to talk about the very pleasing and solid returns Hostplus delivered for our members for the financial year to 30 June 2023. The MySuper balanced option, where the majority of our members are invested, provided a strong return of 8%. This option has consistently delivered with a 10% annualised return over 3 years, 8.55% over 7 years, 8.93% over a decade, and 8.19% over 20 years to 30 June 2023. This performance reflects the strength of our investment strategy, particularly our comprehensive asset class diversification and our sharp focus on investing for the long term. The fact that our balanced option ranked number 1 in the Super Ratings Accumulation Balanced Fund Crediting Rate Survey over 3, 7, 10, 15 and 20 years as of 30 June 2023 further confirms in our view our strategy's success. The balanced option wasn't the only option to provide pleasing results this year, as our index balanced option returned an impressive 12.34%. Our index balanced option is passively managed and aims to mirror the performance of the wider market. Investments in equities and bonds drove strong performance of this option for our members over the financial year. But of course, we do not invest for just 1 year. You will often hear me talk about the importance of placing a long-term lens over investments and returns. I would like to explain why. Year on year, we can reasonably expect the annual Hostplus default balanced option returns to vary. They may go up or down. But over a generational cycle, 20 years or so, Hostplus's returns have exceeded our investment objectives, strategic benchmarks, and peer performance. When you are planning for your retirement, which for many of our members is upwards of 40 years into the future, this is what is really important. In fact, the young demographic of our members puts us in an advantageous position in terms of our ability to make asset allocation decisions that are based on a long-term investment horizon. This Hostplus attributes opens up opportunities to a broader range of investments. Our members who are preparing for the transition to retirement or have already transitioned into one of our pension products also reap the benefits of our long-term investment approach. This is apparent from the performance of the Hostplus balanced pension option, which returned a top quartile result of 8.95% per annum over the last 10 years. The young demographic of our membership base, a large net cash inflow, strong portfolio diversification, and a long-term investment horizon are the key attributes of our fund that drive these performance outcomes. Another benefit of these attributes is the ability to withstand market volatility. Investment markets continued to be unsettled this year with high inflation, rising interest rates, and the war in Ukraine. Other geopolitical tensions in the Middle East and in Asia have also had some impact, with the more recent conflict in Gaza now also becoming a factor. A high annual inflation rate of 7.3% towards the end of the financial year had a flow-on impact in higher prices for new dwelling construction, automotive fuel, and food. While inflation has since tempered somewhat, higher rates are still present across key investment markets. Globally, central banks have raised interest rates as they aim to reduce and control inflation. Domestically, this has been felt across our economy, more acutely by homeowners feeling the full effect of their mortgage repayments. These conditions, while challenging, have demonstrated the resilience of our investment strategy and our actively managed investment approach. With our portfolio, the diversification and tolerance of a higher unlisted asset exposure provides a level of defence against adverse market events and helps mitigate investment risk. I would like to provide more detail now about our unlisted asset exposure. Over the past year, the persistent influence of higher interest rates continued to exert pressure on certain unlisted asset valuations. While commercial office space experienced a downturn, other non-office property subsectors, such as industrial property, hospitality property, and medical offices, have been growth sectors and are experiencing strong rental growth. These increasing rents help cushion the impact of rising rates. Our exposure to these non-office property assets represents over 70% of our total property portfolio, which helped minimise the impact of falls in office valuations on our property portfolio returns. This is a clear example of our diversification strategy at work. Additionally, well-performing listed technology stocks, which experienced gains in both the domestic and global markets, contributed to Hostplus's strong returns despite lower valuations in the fund's private equity and tech investments. It was the equity markets, however, that drove returns across the industry. Over the financial year, overall returns depended largely on the proportion of equities allocated to most investment strategies. The latter half of the financial year saw a resurgence in equity markets, which was particularly evident in the index balanced option return that I highlighted earlier. Equities offer a compelling opportunity for funds like Hostplus with a long-term investment outlook where our ability to practice patience has historically resulted in strong outcomes for our members. Our approach to investing is designed to help you, our members, retire with more. We strive to capture the benefits of strong diversification by investing in many different types of assets across sectors, countries and markets. While the economic, political and social environments may have changed over the past 2 decades, at its core, Hostplus's investment strategy has not. We continue to deploy capital in areas like private credit, private equity, infrastructure, shares and more recently bonds. Bonds represent one asset class where we have increased our balanced option exposure from below 1% to approximately 3% to reflect the future prospects of this asset class. With the support of our expert advisors and external fund managers, we work to harness the opportunities that come from having the size and demographic attributes of Hostplus. Yet another benefit of having these attributes is our ability to offer a diverse range of investment options, including for members who wish to align their investments with their personal values. Our socially responsible investment, SRI balanced option, returned 7.85% for the financial year to 30 June 2023. We also introduced additional responsible investment opportunities for members wishing to play a more active role in their investments through the Choice Plus option. In August, we added Van Eck Global Clean Energy and Beta Shares Climate Change Innovation to the list of exchange-traded funds available to Choice Plus members. These investment options provide additional opportunities for members to invest in companies that aim to contribute to the energy transition and a lower carbon future. These product and investment options reflect our ongoing commitment to responsible investment. We recognise that climate change is one of the biggest challenges facing the world today. The risk it poses is directly relevant to Hostplus and the financial interests of our members, as it is in the future economy where the majority of our members will draw on their hard-earned savings. As the stewards of our members' retirement funds, we have a range of pathways available to us when it comes to our approach to responsible investing and the energy transition. I would like to briefly talk you through those pathways now. At a high level, it would seem that divestment from carbon-intensive industries, such as fossil fuels, is the easiest and most straightforward pathway to lower emissions. However, unfortunately, it's not that simple. Divestment necessarily means selling shares to another buyer. So divestment does not reduce real-world greenhouse gas emissions, but simply creates new investment opportunities for other investors who may not share our ambition for better climate outcomes. It is for this reason that Hostplus favours engagement over divestment. Hostplus's shareholder engagement through ACSI, the Australian Council of Superannuation Investors, has contributed to demonstrable change in financial year 23. Of 30 target companies identified by ACSI in which Hostplus invests, engagement has contributed to net zero commitments from 29 of these companies, and the majority of companies have linked executive incentive pay to climate change objectives and short-term or medium-term emission reduction targets. These are just some examples of the progress such companies have made in the context of an engagement rather than divestment approach. We passionately believe that a just energy transition to a lower carbon future is essential, and we continue to work to enhance our activities in this area to ensure our strategy aligns with our core purpose obligations, while also contributing to the transition in an effective way. Finally, we believe in the importance of managing climate risk proactively. To this end, we are always looking for opportunities to maximise future growth and capital returns for our members, and that's why Hostplus has made substantial investments, $1.5 billion, in innovative and clean technologies such as Octopus Renewables, Tilt Renewables and TerraGen, amongst many others, to support a transition to a lower carbon future. I'm a firm believer that returns and broader societal benefits do not need to be, and often cannot be, mutually exclusive. Hostplus was an early adopter of the venture capital investment asset class, which has provided strong net returns to our members. This asset class has the added benefit of being invested in areas that aim to benefit our future economy and is often the incubator for innovative low-carbon technology. If you could kindly indulge me, I would like to elaborate on some of these today. Tilt Renewables was established in partnership with AGL Energy to drive the development of large-scale renewable energy projects. It is currently Australia's largest renewable energy business by operational capacity. Tilt Renewables generates enough renewable energy to power more than 450,000 average Australian homes each year. The company's 2 wind farms and 2 solar farms is helping Australia transition to a more sustainable energy future. Another innovative company contributing to the energy transition is Radical Plastics. Radical Plastics has developed a patented technology that involves blending conventional plastics with a proprietary, naturally occurring catalyst in order to transform it into biodegradable waste. The advancement of this technology could help address the significant waste problem that Australia and other nations are facing. Finally, I will talk about Swift Solar, another innovative technology that your funds are invested in. Swift Solar has invented new technology using perovskite. Perovskite is a cheap and plentiful light-absorbing mineral, and its application in solar technology is being developed with the aim to be more efficient, more affordable, and more scalable than the solar technologies in use today. The company serves high-value markets such as aerospace, electric vehicles, and telecommunications. They believe that it has the potential to be the lowest cost source of zero carbon electricity to the world. As always, there is a lot to cover, so I do encourage you to visit our website for more information and to download and read our latest annual report, which goes into more detail about some of the topics that I've covered today. I wish all Hostplus members the very best for the rest of the year and for the future ahead. I believe this now brings us to question time, so I will now pass back to our Chair, Damien Frawley, who will facilitate this section of the meeting. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Sam, and hello again, everyone. We will now move into the Q&A segment of today's meeting. I'll be facilitating today's Q&A session, to which we have allocated approximately 30 minutes. Thank you to those members who have taken the time to submit questions both prior to and during today's meeting. If you haven't already, you can submit any questions you'd like us to answer on the event page. The page will remain open to questions until the end of the meeting at 12 p.m. AEDT. For any questions we don't get to today, we'll provide written responses on our website to all questions received, along with the meeting minutes and a video recording of today's presentation. These will be available within the next 30 days. Finally, a reminder that we won't be able to answer any questions that relate to personal financial matters. If you do have any questions that relate specifically to your own super account, you can call our contact centre or chat to us online. I would now like to invite the members of our panel onto the stage to commence the Q&A session. First up, we will have a question that I think will be best answered by you, Sam. If you're happy to come up to the microphone. Kurt asks, with the current state of the global economy, do you foresee any severe impact on superannuation accruals over the next calendar year?
Thanks, Damien, and thank you, Kurt, for your question. I believe we've had a number of questions along similar lines today, and I'm very happy to respond. Investment markets have continued to be unsettled over the past 12 months, impacted by challenging economic conditions both domestically and on the international stage. These conditions have been driven by high inflation, rising interest rates and geopolitical conflicts, including the war in Ukraine and more recently in Gaza. The performance of any fund or investment option is largely determined by the attributes and investment strategy of that fund or option. While we are not immune to the impacts of unstable market conditions, illustrated by account balance fluctuations over the short term, it's always important to remember that superannuation is a long-term investment. Hostplus's investment strategy is continually monitored and has demonstrated it can weather varied market environments. Hostplus's MySuper balanced option is actively managed and highly diversified, with the aim of providing protection from market volatility and smoothing out results over the long term. We have chosen assets such as property, infrastructure and credit, as well as shares in energy and commodities companies, all of which are capable of performing well during times of inflation. For example, the revenue from many of our infrastructure and property investments is linked to inflation and perform well under these market conditions, which is a key consideration when determining and adjusting our asset allocation at any given time. Diversification of asset classes and within asset classes is also an important factor. Property is a very broad asset class and provides a good example of this. Our exposure has been in certain non-traditional property subsectors, such as industrial, hospitality, and medical offices, which have been growth sectors and in most cases have mitigated any impact from the increased pressure on capitalisation rates. This is a clear example of our diversification strategy at work and aims to provide portfolio resilience in times of market uncertainty. In contrast, our index balanced option leverages the investment time horizon to mitigate market volatility risk. This option is passively managed and designed to follow market index returns. Its long-term investment horizon assumes that inflation will moderate over that time frame, which aims to minimise the short-term impacts of market downturns. As a passive portfolio, there's no adjustment required, which also enables us to keep investment fees low. Finally, in a world of deglobalisation, Hostplus has invested in areas that we believe will perform well in times of slightly higher inflation and ongoing technological and societal innovation, such as venture capital and growth equity. These investments are designed to provide resilience and reduce risk during times of market volatility. While I'm on this topic, I'd also like to address questions that have been asked by a number of members about changes in their account balances after they joined our fund through mergers, most recently Maritime Super, but I understand we also had similar questions from members who joined us from Statewide Super. I would like to clarify that the timing of these mergers and the specific market conditions at the time that each merger was finalised is the cause of account balance fluctuations and is not related to the act of merging. I hope that alleviates any concerns you may have.
Thanks, Sam, for that comprehensive overview. While you have the microphone, I might address another question to you. This question is from Saria, who asks, how often are unlisted investments valued? And does this frequency change in response to market volatility or other external events?
Thanks, Damien. I understand this has been a topic that has been covered in the media, so I understand the curiosity of our members, and I'm pleased to be able to shed some light on our process. We oversee a highly diversified portfolio of listed and unlisted assets. Actively managing and applying a long-term strategic asset allocation to perform under different market conditions enables us to seek to smooth out returns over the longer term. This investment strategy, combined with our younger member demographic, supports higher exposure to unlisted assets relative to other investors in the marketplace, meaning more investment opportunities and greater diversification. This contrasts with the many passive strategies and products in the market which are more aligned and exposed to the volatility of listed market movements. Hostplus relies on our highly qualified and experienced external investment managers to oversee valuations on behalf of our members. This is an independent process which is conducted according to long-established valuation protocols and requirements. We work to ensure that our investment managers adopt a regular and timely approach to asset valuations. You can find our valuations policy on our website. It's a publicly available document.
Thank you, Sam. Janet, I'll turn to you now if I may. We have a question here from Lindsay who asks, what steps is Hostplus taking to ensure its administrator delivers on the commitment to members to be the fund of choice?
Thanks, Damien. I'd like to reassure Lindsay and all of our members that Hostplus has a robust relationship management strategy in place to support service excellence. When it comes to phone calls, our records show that the average time for one of our customer service officers to pick up your calls is under 120 seconds. However, we do acknowledge and apologise for instances where members may have experienced longer waits. We continue to monitor wait times to ensure our service centre is adequately resourced to meet call volume needs. We're always working to improve our member experience, particularly when it comes to self-service platforms such as Member Online and the Hostplus mobile app. We recognise that members want simple and effective account management and transaction capabilities at their fingertips. More broadly, we are driving improved outcomes and quicker response times by introducing greater automation of processes, the enhancement of our digital platforms, and by strengthening our self-service capabilities. Our Member Online platform enables members to self-manage their account, and we continue our work to enhance the platform to meet the challenging needs of our members. It's a terrific service, and I encourage members who haven't registered for Member Online to do so, as in most cases, the answers you may be seeking about your account are featured on the platform. You can do this by clicking the login button at the top right-hand corner of our website. And finally, I'll say that we recognise that superannuation can be complex. That's why we are implementing more specialisations within our customer service team to ensure that our members get the information that they need when they need it.
I too would like to reinforce to you, our members, the importance we place on meeting your service expectations. Thank you, Janet. Next up, we have a question from Mark that I think will be best answered by our CEO, David Illier. David, are you happy to respond to Mark, who asks, are the board consulted by the federal government regarding any proposed changes to super or pension funds, and in turn, does the board have the scope or the power to respond, to advise back on matters where they see these changes can directly impact members?
Thank you, Damien. I touched on this in my presentation earlier, but I'm happy to talk more about this because it's such important work. It's important because Australia's superannuation system should be fair and equitable so that all Australians can live a dignified retirement. Hostplus actively participates in policy discussions both directly and indirectly through industry groups such as the Superannuation Members Council of Australia, which came about through a merger between Industry Super Australia and the Australian Institute of Superannuation Trustees, in addition to ASFA, to advocate for policies that improve equity in the superannuation system and the retirement outcomes of our members. This includes, but is not limited to, superannuation policies impacting women, young people, people on low incomes, First Nations people, and those in insecure work. We leverage the collective power of the superannuation industry to drive policy outcomes that are in the best financial interests of our members. The superannuation industry has been the focus of some key policy and regulatory changes over the past 12 months, and Hostplus has been an active participant in many of these. As you heard earlier, Hostplus was actively involved in the engagement process for Payday Super, the Quality of Advice Review, the Your Future, Your Super legislation, and the superannuation guarantee rate increases. However, I also wanted you to be aware that Hostplus also provided input into the development of an objective of superannuation to enshrine the purpose of superannuation into legislation. The Superannuation Objective Bill 2023, which was recently introduced to Parliament, defines the objective of super as to preserve savings to deliver income for a dignified retirement alongside government support in an equitable and sustainable way. Please rest assured that Hostplus will continue to advocate on policy issues that we believe are in our members' best financial interests.
Thanks, David. I might ask you to stay at the microphone if I can, as we have another question. I think you'll be best placed to answer that question. Our member Gary said they recently received an email, supposedly from Hostplus. They ask, how do I know that emails like this are genuine and not from cybercriminals seeking to obtain my personal information?
This is a really important area, Gary. Thanks for asking this question. Firstly, all official emails from Hostplus are sent from one of two domains, hostplusmail.com.au or hostplus.com.au. To verify the authenticity of any email claiming to be from Hostplus, please check that the sending domain matches one of these two domains. For added protection, Hostplus employs industry-recognised email security validation to safeguard your data and provide a secure communication environment. This is reflective of the fact that security is paramount to Hostplus. We employ a comprehensive array of measures to safeguard members' personal and financial information. Our customer-facing teams implement specific security protections, including additional identification verification points to ensure the integrity of your account. Hostplus maintains robust security monitoring, detection, and response systems to promptly address any potential threat and protect your information from unauthorised access. We actively engage with law enforcement and regulators whenever necessary, fostering a proactive approach to security and compliance. Hostplus employs multi-factor authentication, a highly effective measure against unauthorised access. This involves requiring a one-time PIN for accessing your account online. I will take a moment to talk a little further about multi-factor authentication, as I believe we also received a question expressing frustrations with the multi-factor authentication process. We understand it's an extra step you have to take, and I understand that with it, your login may not be as streamlined as you would like. Multi-factor authentication, however, is a fundamental security measure that significantly strengthens the protection of online accounts and systems by requiring multiple forms of verification before granting access. It's an important component of Hostplus's cybersecurity strategy and a regulatory requirement, so I hope you understand that it's there for the protection of your account and data.
Thanks, David. I hope that information is reassuring to our members. Janet, I will call you back to the microphone now, as there's a couple more questions I hope you can answer for us. Lindsay also asks, how is Hostplus implementing the federal government's retirement income covenant provisions?
Thanks, Damien, and thanks, Lindsay, for your questions. Hostplus developed and launched our retirement income strategy in 2022, and the implementation continues. The strategy outlines how the fund intends to assist members who are retired or approaching retirement to achieve and balance key retirement income objectives. Our strategy is based around a holistic three-pillar approach, which integrates with the age pension and other sources of retirement income to help members maximise their retirement income, manage risks and provide flexible access to their retirement savings. The strategy will evolve as we continue to research, assess and respond to our member retirement needs and preferences, which will help us enhance and tailor our products, our member education and support tools, and financial planning and advice solutions. Further to this, under what is known as product design and distribution obligations, Hostplus is required to periodically review how our financial products are designed, distributed and used by members. This is done with the aim of helping members determine what their use of certain Hostplus products, how to use them, such as our investment options, how they remain appropriate for their likely objectives, financial situation and needs. The introduction of product options like CPI Plus are examples of how we're meeting these obligations for our retired members. A detailed summary of our retirement income strategy is available on our website if you'd like to find out more.
Great, thanks, Janet. The next question is from Anthony, who asks, what is the best thing to do with super to get maximum returns as a person in their early 20s?
Thanks, Damien, and thanks, Anthony, for your question. Growing and maximising your retirement savings will depend on your personal circumstances and preferences. That's why Hostplus offers financial advice services to support members to understand and plan for their retirement in a way that meets their needs. We offer a range of options to ensure members can access the right level of advice through their preferred channel, because we know that access to the right advice can make a big difference in retirement. Our advice services range from general product advice from the fund's advice support team to the provision of professional and personalised advice from qualified financial planners. Whether there are costs involved depends on the level of advice that you need. To find out more about our financial advice services or to book an appointment, I'd encourage you to visit our website.
Thank you, Janet. David, I'm hoping you can answer this question from Matthew, who asks if we can explain why all infrastructure and property investment options were removed.
Yes, thanks, Damien. One of the strongest commitments we make is to delivering quality products and services to members. As part of this commitment, we regularly review our investment strategy and product offering to ensure they continue to meet the needs of our diverse membership base and to ensure that what we deliver is in their best financial interests. During a recent review, we made the decision to expand our pre-mixed options, concurrently streamlining our single sector options. It's important to note this only applies to Hostplus's accumulation and pension fund members. We considered a range of factors, including the complexity and cost of running the property and infrastructure options as standalone options. how best to manage the asset mix and cash flows of Hostplus's overall investments, and ensuring we continue to meet best practice investment governance standards. We believe withdrawing these options and expanding our lineup of pre-mixed options was in the best financial interests of our members. The good news is members can still invest in these assets through our enhanced pre-mixed options and our Choice Plus option, which allows direct exposure to listed property and infrastructure via securities like shares and ETFs. A significant event notice, SEN, outlining these changes was provided to members in advance of their implementation, and this was included as additional information in the invitation you received to this event.
We will seek your insights on one other further matter, if we may, David. You spoke about the importance of marketing in your presentation, especially when it comes to building scale and value for our members. I will ask you to expand on that a little, if I may. From Kunal, who asks, how does Hostplus continue to fund and sponsor sports teams and events like the AFL, while trying to ensure members get the best return? How does spending money to attract more members for the fund directly impact the existing fund members' investment return?
Thanks, Damien, and thanks, Kunal, for your question. Hostplus's growth trajectory continues to be above the industry average, and this has not happened by accident. Let me go back to the numbers I referenced in my presentation. According to recent APRA data for the year ending June 2023, Hostplus's funds under management grew by a sizable 16.2% compared to the overall growth of the industry at 7.6%. Growth and the scale that comes from growth allows us to keep your fees low, access investment opportunities that smaller funds cannot, and reinvest in products and services that support our members' journey to and within retirement. Hostplus has always strategically pursued growth with a finely tuned, data-driven marketing strategy. Communicating the unique benefits of the fund and seeking to retain and attract new members ultimately contributes to the growth of our fund scale. Hostplus's marketing strategy, which includes sponsorships and partnerships, has made and continues to make a proven and cost-effective contribution to achieving these outcomes. Hostplus engages in two types of partnerships: sport and recreation and industry alliances, with each type addressing our brand and strategic objectives, but with discernible differences in how these partnerships deliver against the strategy. The key objective of sport and recreation partnerships is to build consistent brand awareness and performance messages through the exposure of the Hostplus brand. Sports partnerships, relative to other media choices like TV, radio, outdoor, deliver much greater value when it comes to achieving brand awareness in the communities that align with our target audiences and where there is a high level of consumer engagement. Industry alliance partnerships assist in supporting Hostplus to be recognised as a meritorious default fund for the representative group's employers, their employees and members. They also allow Hostplus to play a practical and valued role in visibly connecting with and being active in the relevant group sectors and industries. Given the increasing retailisation of the superannuation sector and the context of contemporary superannuation and industrial relations policy, this aspect of our marketing strategy is more important than ever.
Thank you, David. May I just say that the board is very supportive of the fund's marketing strategy and the impact it has on the growth of the fund. We have time for just a couple more questions, I think, so I'll direct those to you, Sam, if I may. Andrew asks, what developments are we likely to see in relation to ethical investments and options available to members who wish to see their money invested in this way? We've had a number of questions like this, so I think it is important we address this today.
Thanks, Damien. I agree it's an important topic. At Hostplus, we believe managing social concerns and delivering strong returns can be achieved together. In fact, we believe the integration of environmental, social and governance, ESG factors, may lead to more complete analysis and better informed investment decisions, which could ultimately drive better performance over the long term. Some issues, such as climate change, can represent opportunities through investment in new technologies, including renewable energy, battery storage, and other clean energy solutions. In relation to what would be considered unethical industries, we have a broad and diverse membership across many industries, age groups, and cultural background. So what is considered socially undesirable to some members may be of less concern to others. We also believe that divestment from a company or sector means losing influence, and if done for non-financial reasons, may impede our ability to deliver the highest possible returns to members while addressing and effectively managing all foreseeable risks. The current exception to this is controversial weapons. To comply with Australia's laws or to satisfy international treaties, Hostplus has decided not to invest in companies involved in the development, production, maintenance or sale of controversial weapons, including nuclear weapons. We also recognise that some members may want to align the investment of their superannuation saving to their personal values. So we endeavour to accommodate these members through our SRI balanced investment option and Choice Plus investment option.
Sticking with a similar theme, Sam, Jody asks, what percentage of investments are in coal and gas and renewable energy projects?
Thanks, Damien. Yes, a similar theme, but there are some important nuances here. In accordance with our obligations as a responsible trustee, everything we do is to deliver outcome in the members' best financial interests. All investment decisions are made through this lens, pursuant to detailed macroeconomic and microeconomic analysis and other factors. These factors include environmental, social and governance, ESG considerations, which form the basis of our responsible investment policy. We acknowledge there needs to be a just transition and a phase out of coal, oil and natural gas, but the speed of this transition will depend in part upon the rate of further technological developments in clean energy and advancements in sectors that are currently reliant on fossil fuels in the manufacturing process, such as steelmaking. Currently, around 2% of the balanced option is invested in listed companies in the coal, oil and gas sectors. The world requires energy to function, and until increased capacity can be created from renewable assets, which we are pursuing in a variety of ways through our infrastructure and venture capital programs, there will remain strong demand for fossil fuel assets and especially for transitory energy solutions such as gas. To date, Hostplus has invested more than $1.5 billion, approximately 1.4% of the PST, in climate change and renewable energy companies and projects such as Octopus Australia, Hysata Hydrogen Technology and Tilt Renewables. Decisions around divestment over the medium and longer term will be made based on factors including our views on the ability and willingness of companies and sectors to adapt to the transition to a low-carbon future. We recognise that some members may want to align their investment of their superannuation savings to their personal values. So we endeavour to accommodate these members through specific investment options such as socially responsible investment, SRI, balanced option, which has strict ESG screening practices in place.
Thank you, Sam. And thanks to all of our presenters today for sharing their updates and answering the questions submitted by our members. Before I close the meeting, I would like to offer my sincere thanks to you, our members, joining us today, and also to those who submitted questions before and during the event today. It's so pleasing to see the level of interest and engagement in your fund. And it's been an absolute pleasure to be able to provide you with some of the work we've done and will continue to do to deliver you the best possible retirement outcomes. Remember, if we couldn't get to your question today, we will be posting all questions received on our website within 30 days, in addition to a recording to this meeting. I look forward to welcoming you again next year and also wish you all a safe and happy festive season.